and we are going to take a look at the algebra fundamentals. So usually after the school year ends, and it's usually the first week of summer, we'll usually make a review video of the fundamentals of algebra. Not only that, it's a tradition that we do once a year during the summer. So when you think of algebra, you probably see numbers like x and y. But why is that the case? We also see numbers like 1, 2, 3 in like your elementary years. But how does this explain it? Well, when you're like in middle school, or if you ever heard of problems that like 1 plus 2 equals 3, then if I say 3 plus 7 equals 10, yes, those are solved math problems. But what happens if math is all about finding the right answer, coming up with new ideas, and also trying to analyze and figure things out? Assuming that we wrote the problem 3 plus 7 equals 10. The problem is, imagine if you never realized that that 7 was there in the first place. So what we have to do is 3 plus whatever that question mark is going to equal 10. But in the algebra equations form, or if you wrote it in algebra, you would say 3 plus a represented letter, x, is going to equal 10. X is going to equal the unknown value. We have no clue what x is unless x is solved in the equation. If we just have x by itself and no equation, then x, we don't know what it is. Even the most complicated or best mathematicians don't know what it is unless you have something that x is for. X could be amount of Legos, amount of junk piles over here, the amount of pens, the amount of blankets, TVs, houses, windows, blah, 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 whatever. So you can't really know what x is unless you give it some kind of value, like x equals 6, for example. Or x has to be something in this equation. For example, if we try to find out what x is, let's rewrite the problem. So we have 3 plus whatever x is going to equal 10. When you do math, you usually try to solve to get to an answer. However, when you're solving algebra equations, the thing that is getting to your answer is a missing number. So what we have to do is work behind it. We have to turn that car into reverse and work backwards. Here is what we're trying to say. So we're having 3 plus whatever number that is equals 10. What happens if we try to get x alone? So 3 plus what equals 10? If I subtract by 3 from both sides, we are going to have x is going to equal 10 minus 3 is going to be 7. So what we just did is we reversed the work and we got to what x represented as the unknown value. For example, we did 3 plus x equals 10, 3 plus 7 equals 10. If you have 10 as the answer, work backwards to get what the missing number is. Let's try something more challenging. So imagine we have 5x is going to equal 100. So that is basically saying 5 multiplied by what kind of number is going to equal 100? Instead of multiplying, we have to work backwards. So we have to divide both sides by 5 to get x alone. Because if we multiply, we have to divide. If we add, we have to subtract, and the other way around. So when we do that, 100 divided by 5 is going to be 20. So x is going to equal 20 in this problem. Let's try one final problem and see what we can get to. Let's say we have 5x plus 30 is going to equal, let's say, 2x plus, we're going to say 26. Or how about 36? And see what happens. So, just like the last time, we have to work backwards to get x alone, to get to an unknown value. So we have to merge the two x's and merge the two constants. So why don't we subtract by 2x and subtract by 2x, we get 3x plus 30 equals plus 36. Subtract by 30 to get x alone, and 3x is going to equal 6. 3 multiplied by what is going to equal 6? If we multiply, we have to divide. And x is going to equal 6 divided by 2, x equals 2. So that is our missing value that makes the equation true. If you wanted to check your work, put 2 into the equation and see if you got that correct. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 30 is going to be 40. 2 times 2 plus 36 is going to be 40. We've got this problem correct because 40 is going to equal 40. So these are the fundamentals of algebra, trying to solve x in an equation. I hope this video has helped you understand the algebra fundamentals. Thank you for watching Top Life's Math Industry. Like and subscribe.